and tail lights are removed, I can finally install my stop motion tail lights. Shout out to Mike for getting these to me as quick as possible. These are definitely a quality bill, worth every penny that I paid for them. I will leave again his Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube links down in the description below, so if y'all want to talk to him, you can click on one of those links. Thankfully I can finally get these things off of here. Like I said before, I don't really think the two mixed. I hated them at first, then they grew on me once I saw them in person, and then once I actually got them and put them on the car, I just haven't really liked them. I didn't like the bulkiness of them, and thankfully these ones are built with using the stock housing, so they fit perfect, and you know, you can get that blocky look off the back of your car, unless you like that. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to install these tail lights. And then I'll give a few pointers probably as I go along or at the end of this. That way if you are having troubles with your tail lights that you got for your Lancer or Evo, then you'll probably know what to do. Some things are simple. Keep in mind I'm not electrically inclined, so if I use the wrong terms for what it is that I'm looking at, please feel free to correct me down in the comments. Also, let's see here. I think the last time I talked to him, there was 1 or 2 more sets left that he was going to sell. He was selling, he was only doing 10 for the Lancer community. And yeah, make sure you get over there and talk to him if you see these and it's something that you like. Next step, I'm going to grab my tail light for the driver's side. And then now I have my harness. I'm going to go ahead and connect this into the back of this. So you have the one that usually takes a small LED, that one isn't used. So you can go ahead and insert that one here. The orangish or yellowish one is going to be for the center. Then you can input this like so. Lock it into place, and then your gray one is going to be the one for the one closest to the trunk if you're looking at it. And you're going to lock that in there, and then you can tuck your cords back into their original spots. Like so. Same thing for these. Bow. And then you have this harness, comes off of the tail light, and then you can put that through the grommet. And then you can put it back on the car. So I'm going to move the camera so you can see it from a different angle. Then once you have that in place, you can come around. Ooh. You can come around, and you have this harness here, and then you have this one that comes off of the tail light, and you can finish pulling that through, and then you can push the tail light in at the same time. Then you can go ahead and push your tail light into place. you'll be done with that, you can put your screws back in. After that, that side is good to go. The next one I'm going to do is a driver's side on the trunk. And you just take these and insert them in the hose, obviously. Got that tail leg in there. You might want to grab the nuts and install them under the tail light. Those are good to go. Also, while we're here, you might want to grab your connector and then go ahead and install that so you don't forget about it later. Like so. These wires in. And then that side. And then you can connect this connector. And then again, just like the VLAN, this one isn't used. And you can put this up here if you'd like. Just kind of keep it from hanging. Tuck this one away if you can. Or if you got somewhere for it to go. And then you let these hang for a bit. And then we're going to move on to the next side. Alright, now for this side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to remove this from the grommet. I've got the grommet cut, so I can insert my tail light harness. Again. Got my passenger light this time. The difference between this side and the other side is only one of these connectors are being used. And that's going to be the center one, which is the yellow one. And then this one you'll insert over here. Last but not least, you lock all of those in place, and again, tuck your wires, and then now you have the one for the tail light as well. And then you can grab your grommet, wrap it around, and then insert these back. backwards. It's my bad. Doesn't go that way, it goes this way. Push that one into place, and then grab your screws and put those in. And voila, good to go. Alright, last but not least, we have the last piece of the trunk door. And that's it. For now anyways. That's it for that. So let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that just looks fancy, don't it? Good. Yeah, it looks too nice, man. Now comes perhaps the confusing portion. All the wires that we need. But let's not forget while we're here to make sure we go ahead and do this portion. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my connector again. And then I'm going to go ahead and connect this for the reverse lights. And then as far as that, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and get a quick look at these tails. That brings me joy. Now let's go ahead and get with these wires, hook it all up. Alright, so for this portion, I'm going to use my GoPro because the camera is going to be tough getting in here, or seeing in here rather. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab the controller, which is this one here. I'm going to just go ahead and set that right here on the driver's side. So every wire you have will be connected into this, and they're all labeled thanks to Mike. And then you'll have your grounding wire, and your constant, which is going to go to the battery. Also, he recommended that you pop this cap and pull the fuse until you fully get it connected, and then you can insert the fuse in there, and then you can make sure everything works instead of trying to blow it from connecting and reconnecting and making sure you have the right connection. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to grab is the harness for the trunk door, and that's going to be this little colorful one. And then again, as you can see, Mike was kind enough to label everything for us. And then this side is going to go to the trunk door. So now we have male to female here. So single wire connection and a single wire, both green. And then we have another two that's green that we're going to make our connections to. Male to female. And then we have this one, same thing. Right, and then once you have that one inserted, then we can take this and stick it down right here on the tire. Hopefully it doesn't move. So you have one here that he's labeled as left. I'm going to go ahead and connect that one to this one that says left as well. And then we have one that says 12 volt, and then you can connect it to any of them on the controller that says 12 volt supply. And then this one here to left outside, so this one is going to go to the harness on the driver outside. Again, single green and single green. And then we have these two from the driver's side light, which is only required to go straight to the controller, so 12 volt. And then this one, so this one, there's only one connection on here that you can connect it to, so I'm gonna go ahead and make that connection. Make sure it's all the way in, and then, oh no, and then our 12 volt supply. Again, you can find any. Well, now this side is done. Oh yeah, forgot. Make sure you reconnect this too, otherwise it ain't gonna work. Right, that's done. Out of the way. These wires are done for the driver's side and from the taillights. Eventually, you can probably do this as you go. I'm going to end up doing is taking this the same way I did with the VLAN, fishing it through this hose, and then coming from under here, and then probably tucking it along this line all the way to the taillight and whatever's excess. I will grab a zip tie, tie it up, and then mount it wherever. Now we're going to do this side, and this side can be a bit confusing, so make sure you go ahead and grab both your longest harness and your shorter one, because you're going to need them both. Now again, this is going to be a tad bit confusing, but to make it less confusing, one of the harnesses Mike has labeled, you know, with right 12 volt supply and then right turn. This side from the shorter harness is going to go to, again, your controller. And this is going to be for the shorter one. And then this side, you're going to make your connections into this harness. And then this longer harness is going to make connections into the trunk door. And this side is going to make their way into the right passenger outside light. So I'll do this passenger side first. and then you have right turn, and then right turn, and then you have a male and female, and then you connect those, and that's the passenger outside. And then this side, you're gonna make your connections up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that connection. And then bam, just like that, you're done. It's harness there. So you have the female, male, female, and then you're gonna connect them on this one. So green to green, red to male to female, and then right turn to right turn. And then all your connections are done here. They're done here. And then you gotta take this final end and connect it to the controller. So again, you have one that's labeled as right. Find the one on the controller. Make that connection. Right turn to right turn. And then 12-volt supply. And then that's everything. So now all the wires are connected. Both the outside lights and the passenger and the driver and the passenger all connected. And the only thing left for you to do is to take your grounding and your power and find a grounding spot and something to power. Which obviously we're in the trunk, so I'm gonna use the battery, and I'm gonna use this grounding spot right here. And that's good to go for your grounding. And then now, what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to run this up over the top, and then I'm going to put this wire up against this, and then put this down on top of it. And then I'm going to tighten it down. Alright, now that's good. Everything is good. I'm going to put the fuse back in there, which I have. I'm gonna put my nuts on here, which I forgot. And then I Again, make sure you double check that everything is connected correctly. Again, everything's in the controller. And once you do that, once you're confident that everything is good to go, you can go ahead and put your fuse back in there. And then reconnect the battery. I'm gonna close the trunk door. And then I'm gonna make sure everything works. Try the reverse lights first. You can see they're on. And I'm gonna try the parking lights. You can see they came on. The reverse lights are on. And I'm gonna try my hazards. Those work, which means the turn signals are good. Just in case you want me to do the extra check. Now it does look a little fast in there. You can't control the speed. Sorry about that. Bagger in my GoPro died. So again, I flipped up the switch on the right side. So all of that works. And then I'm gonna go set this down so you can see the brake lights. I can make sure those work as well. I don't know how well this is gonna hold, but we'll see. Now hopefully that should have worked, and as you see, everything is connected, everything is good to go. And yeah, installation is pretty much complete. Now all you have to do is go and check all your wires so they don't look like that every time you open your trunk. And like I said before, I'm gonna take this wire and go through here and then come out in the bottom. And then I'll probably get some Velcro or some double-sided tape, mount this somewhere so it's not just sitting on the floor. And then, yeah, outside of that, everything else is pretty much good for the most part. Let's see here. Yeah, so like I said, everything is good for the most part. I just have to go back and fix all of this mess of cords, because there is as you guys seen, there's a lot of wires everywhere for this particular harness that has been made. Just some tips that's not in Mike's instructions yet. He said he will include this later. If something isn't working, like say for instance these here, then a good thing to do would be to either flip them around from the passenger to the driver and from the driver to the passenger, and then the connections inside the tail lights, you can flip those around because the connectors might be on the wrong side, which is kind of weird, but you never know. It always helps. It always has to be in there one way, I guess. And then yeah, let's see, flip the connectors, make sure everything is connected if it doesn't work, and then make sure you take your time, do one side at a time, one wire at a time, because it does get a little confusing. And then yeah, the end product, man, it's amazing. I love this. Again, shout out to Mike at Stop Motion Lighting. Yeah, you'll see in the video that I post up, you'll see he has it engraved Stop Motion Lighting, and then the number of the limited edition that you got. And then yeah, everything else is good. I'll take some pictures, including in this video, and then I'll try and get up a video of what it looks like at night. A lot of cameras have a hard time capturing light, especially ones as bright as these. Oh, I guess before I forget, the last thing I need to do for you guys is show you guys the app. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get my iPad, and then yeah, there I'll show you guys the stuff in the app, because sometimes that could be confusing, and then I can tell you guys some stuff not to touch, according to Mike, especially if you don't know what you're doing with stuff like this and you don't know how your controller works. So I'm gonna go ahead and run and get that, and then I'll be right back.